Hi everyone, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe, and I am live to take your immigration questions. So go ahead and drop your questions in the comments, and I will gladly answer those questions for you. So today I've come with a topic as well, and I'm going to talk about the VAWA green card, the T, and the U visa. So, but keep in mind that my main priority is to answer your immigration questions. I come on daily to make sure I can connect with you all and answer your questions. So even if I'm talking and I see a question come in, I'm going to stop talking to answer your question. So your question doesn't have to be related to what I'm talking about. So go ahead and ask any immigration related question that you would like. So let's go. First of all, let me formally introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I am U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I help clients. Hi, John Membu. It's nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So I help clients get their work permit and their green card. So that is the area I focus on in immigration law, is to help people to apply for their green cards. So if you would like to ask a question, go ahead and drop it in the questions. Hi, Jamaican Italian Kitchen. It's nice to see you. Go ahead and drop your questions in, and I will go ahead and answer it. But if you want to listen, that's fine as well. So I'm going to talk about the VAWA green card first. So the VAWA green card is, hi there, woman myself, and I see you representing the Jamaican flag. Yep. At Victoria 250, how do I qualify for a work permit? So thank you for that question. And now, usually with the work permit, you have to qualify for some sort of immigration relief or benefit. So you usually, to apply for the work permit, you have to you either have to qualify for some sort of visa. You qualify for be applying for asylum. You're applying for adjustment of status in the United States. So it really depends on what you qualify for. If you feel like you want to be sure that you qualify, you want to find out if you qualify for a particular immigration relief or benefit, you can schedule a consultation with me, and then we can get a little more in depth regarding your personal circumstances, because it really depends on your circumstances. I do want to say, with the work permit, you can't just come to the United States and then apply for a work permit, especially if you are undocumented. You have to make sure that you qualify for to apply for asylum, a green card, URT visa, which is for the URT visa is for victims of crime and trafficking, or that you qualify to get the work permit while your process is going through. So it all depends, and that's a very, very broad question. And you would know that, but it is. And so, woman myself, one, what is the cost of the consultation? So my consultation fee is $150, and for that you get to sit down with me and we talk about your situation. You ask any questions you want, and I advise you. So you will leave with a plan, or you leave with me as your attorney. Because now you know you need representation, or you have a clearer picture of what you qualify for. So it's definitely worth it. And I do want to make note that it's also worth it because you avoid making devastating mistakes in your immigration process. So instead of winging it, you have legal guidance through that through the consultation with me. Natural beauty queen, what I what if I want to move there to work and live with my kids? Well, you would have to qualify through family, employment, or even qualify through a form of relief. So if you're, humanitarian relief. So it all depends on way to figure out how you will move or whether you can move is to sit down with me in a consultation, and I can go through family. It's going to be a U.S. citizen, a spouse, about how you qualify. Now with family, if you to qualify a U.S. Or legal permanent resident spouse, U.S. citizen parent, or a green card holder parent, or a son or a citizen son or daughter who's 21 and old. So that's family. Employment base is much broader, and it really depends on your qualifications, whether you have an employer, what your skills are, what is your education level, what are your achievements. So it's extremely broad, and I would definitely need to talk to you. Humanitarian is if you're fleeing your country because you are a part of a particular group that's being persecuted. I don't believe that's happening in the Bahamas. But if you are going through something and you're fleeing the Bahamas, but you'd have to, of course, make it into the U.S. First. And if you're in the U.S. and you're the victim of a crime that has left you traumatized, or you're the victim of trafficking through coercion, fraud, physical force, then that is also a way that you could qualify. You're welcome, woman myself. And natural beauty queen, okay, so you're from the Bahamas. So even though you're from the Bahamas, you would still have to apply to be able to work and live in the United States. Unfortunately, there are no exceptions that applies to Bahamians in that regard. So great questions. Keep the questions coming. That is why I'm here, is to answer your immigration questions. I would like to talk about the VAWA green card, but please go ahead and keep dropping your questions in. It doesn't matter that I'm talking, I'll stop talking to answer your question. So feel free to drop your questions in. So hi Urena, it's nice to see you. So with the with the VAWA, so if you're going to apply for the green card on your own because you're a U.S. citizen or green card holder, spouse, parent, or citizen son or daughter are refusing to apply for you and they're mistreating you, then you can stay in the United States while that green card process is going forward. Hi Sonia Lovehurts, it's nice to see you and thanks for tuning in. And if you have a question, feel free to drop it now. So you can stay in the United States, apply for the green card without involving the relative that is mistreating you. Hi Keisha, can you file a family member for a family member when you only have a conditional green card? So that is a great question. Now, as a conditional green card holder, it depends on which family member you want to sponsor. So if you would like to sponsor your child, then yes, because it doesn't change the fact that you are a green card holder. Keep in mind too, though, that you do have to in order to ultimately complete the green card process, you have to make sure that you get that 10-year green card, because your status as a green card holder would be terminated if you don't renew it from 2 years to 10 years. But you can certainly definitely file the paperwork and just make sure that you continue to be a green card holder, because you do continue to be a green card holder until a decision comes down, especially when they provide the extension. Sonia Lovehurts, hi, I have sponsored my mom. She's green card. And she is okay, so you're being sponsored by your mom and she's a green card holder and the lawyer started for me, but So, Sonia Love Hurts, if you're under 21, then and unmarried, or you're over 21 and unmarried, then you would qualify through your mom. There is a longer wait period, so even though you can file the papers, there is going to be, right now as we speak, that could always change, but right now if you're over 21, there's a 5-year wait time. And if you're under 21, then that is a little faster right now. Right now, you could be looking at 2 years. So thick thighs save lives. That's a good one. Thank you for sharing my life. So you're over 21, so it's going to take about 5 to 6 years. And if you're in the United States, then you are also looking at, you'll have to apply for a waiver to get for forgiveness for living in the United States without your papers. If you're outside of the United States, then you just have the 5 to 6 year wait. Okay. So keep the questions coming. These are great questions. I came with a topic myself to talk to you about, and that's applying for the green card on your own in the case that your U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse or parent, or your U.S. citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up are mistreating you. Then if they're mistreating you, you qualify to apply for the green card on your own. So thank you, Natural Beauty Queen, for sharing my life. I appreciate that. So what does that process look like? So the first is it depends on who your relative is, but you apply for the required forms. The forms depend on whether you have a U.S. citizen spouse, a U.S. citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up. If you have a green card holder spouse, then, a spouse or a parent, then you will have to submit it with one form, and then later on when it's reviewed and it's approved, then you can apply for the work authorization at that point. But if the relative who's mistreating you is a U.S. citizen parent, a U.S. citizen spouse, or a citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up, then you can apply for the work authorization right away, and you get it within 6 to 8 months. So you would be able to stay in the United States, get a work permit, and then all being well, you would get the green card after about 2 years to 2.5 years. Jennifer Darian, question: I was involved in a marriage when my ex-husband committed marriage fraud. So I think this question looks like it's not complete. So I'm gonna wait. I want to sponsor my so you want to sponsor my BC later. So with this, your boyfriend, okay, yes, your boyfriend. So you want to sponsor your boyfriend later. If we get married, will I have issues? So with this, Immigration Service does look at marriage fraud very seriously, and they treat harshly. Very harshly. And so I would want to know the extent to which you were involved, because you said I was involved in a marriage when my ex-husband committed marriage fraud. So my question to you would be, were you the U.S. citizen or green card holder that married to get the person their card? I would want to know how you're involved, because that could tell me whether it's going to be an issue when you marry your boyfriend and you try to sponsor him. Now, it is a more complex issue as well. So if you would like to schedule a consultation, we could do that as well. And that way you because the information I'm sharing with you is very general. It's not specific to you. So what you can do is schedule a consultation with me, and then we can get more into the weeds of what happened, so I can tell you where you stand in the future with your boyfriend. So was it something where you were charged, or let me know, and then I can answer more specifically. Okay. So Chevorn, definitely give me a call. I'm going to put my number in the comments. So it's under the immigration attorney. Go ahead and call that number, and you can schedule a consultation. The receptionist who answers will get you on. Now, if you call after hours, like around this time or over the weekend, we do have a receptionist that answers, but you will be able to speak to a staff member who will get you on my actual schedule on Monday. We'll either call you back, or you could call on Monday, whichever you prefer. So you're a citizen, Jennifer Darian. I was innocent, thought the marriage was real. No, just reported after I found out he had entered the marriage under fraud. I was scared of the charge. So I would not want to give you a definite answer as to how it means for you. I would want to definitely talk to you in a consultation, and I do think it is in your best interest to meet with me so we can get, a little more detail, because I see here, no, just reported after I found out he had entered the marriage under fraud. I was scared of the charge. So I would want to know who got married and what happened. So I would definitely suggest you give me a call, because if you were already married, how were you involved in the scheme? Or how were you in some way related, or how was your spouse related to a scheme? If you were already married, was it that you were preparing the paperwork for them, and you got caught up in the mix of setting up a fake marriage? Just let me know. Thank you for the gift, Natural Beauty. So yes, my number is 561-405-4889. Go ahead and call and schedule a consultation, and we can talk about it further. And I do suggest that you get legal advice, because when it comes on to allegations of marriage fraud, it is very easy to apply for your boyfriend that will need to be your husband. But it could affect the process, just depending on how deep you're involved and what happened, who got married, and of the sort. So give me a call and let's talk more about it. Thank you, Chevorn, for sharing my live, and I hope you give us a call. How much income do we have to make to be the sponsor for our parents? So great question. So if you go to, and I'm going to pull it up. So if you go to the uscis.gov, if you go to the website and you pull up the poverty guidelines, it's going to give you the chart, all the information you need. So I'm going to repeat that. The uscis.gov website, and if you can type in poverty guidelines, it's going to bring up the search results, but it's the best way to find that. So or you could do form I-8 I-864P, and that's the actual chart. And then you're going to open it up. So for a household of two, you need to make 125% of the poverty guideline. So a household of two would be 21,550. Household of three would be 27,150. A household of four would be 32,750. And it goes up based on the number of household members. So go to uscis.gov, and then you could do in the search poverty guidelines, or you could go to forms and search for the I-864P form, and then it will have the chart there for you to find how much you need to be making. So great question. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody else's questions. Okay. All right. So here are some more questions. You're welcome, Kendall. So Jennifer Darian, divorce was finalized yesterday. So it sounds like that is a relief for you, for sure. I mean, that's a scary situation, especially with how serious they treat it. So with marriage fraud and immigration, not only do you get permanently barred, you're a U.S. citizen, so you wouldn't be barred from, you wouldn't be deported or anything, but you could face prison time and hefty fines. The prison time up to 5 years, and hefty fines. So it's definitely earned as dependent. So there is a category if someone is living with you and they're over 18. You're supporting them, then they could possibly be designated as a dependent. How does one go about getting a green card? So that is very broad, but you can do it through family, you can do it through employment, or you could do it through humanitarian relief. So if you are afraid to go back to your country, you could get asylum, and eventually that leads to a path to a green card. If you're a victim of a crime or a victim of trafficking, then you could get the visa and then eventually get a green card. If it's through family members, so you must have a U.S. citizen or green card holder parent or spouse, or a citizen son or daughter who's 21 and up, or a U.S. citizen sibling. But what I want to note is that even though these relatives some of them can sponsor you, some of the wait times, depending on how you're applying, is very long. So, to make sure that you get advice about, whether where you qualify, or if you qualify. So I just want to let you know, those of you who are joining. So what if you don't have any of those? Then if you don't have any of those, then you probably wouldn't qualify for the green card. So you must qualify through some means. And if you can't relate with any of those, then your chances is very slim. Now, what I do want to tell you about is the diversity visa. So that's a lottery, and you can sign up for it. You will be assigned a number. So every year, I believe before September or by September 30th, you sign up for it, and then they do a drawing of the numbers. And if your number is picked, I believe they choose 55,000 people. And if your number is picked, then you have a chance to become a green card holder just through the lottery. So if all else fails, there's that option as well, where every year you can enter your name and see if you get selected. but it's not guaranteed. So great questions. Keep the questions coming. I really appreciate all of you being here, and I enjoy answering your questions. So questions coming. That's the reason I'm here. Answer your immigration questions. So I was talking about applying for the green card on your own. Now, while I'm talking about that, you're free to drop your questions in the comments and I will gladly answer them. And it doesn't have to be related to what I'm talking about, and you can interrupt me with those questions. But I was going through the process. If you're being mistreated by your U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident spouse, or a parent or a citizen son or daughter who's 21 and older, for the VAWA green card and stay in the United States, get a work permit while the process is pending, and then eventually, hopefully, you would get the green card. Hi there, KK. Hi, I am Hennessy Boss. Hi, Miriam. So, what about the T and the U visa? So those are for the U visa is for victim of crimes, and then the T visa is for victims of trafficking. I always like to say, when you think about crime or you think about trafficking, you think about somebody who has been the victim of physical violence. And I want to let you know that that is not the case. Trafficking occurs through, I'm good, Miriam. Thanks. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Trafficking, for example, can happen through coercion. It could happen through fraud. It could happen through duress. So it doesn't necessarily have to be where somebody physically kidnaps you off the side of the street and then chains you up in a basement. It could be a non-violent way, but then they get you into a situation that is very difficult to come out of. They may threaten you or say, where are you gonna go? If you try to leave, then they'll use your undocumented status against you. For example, they'll say, where will you go? You don't have any status, you don't have anything out there, so you need to stay with me. These are this is an example of trafficking, and so if you were in that situation or you are in this situation, then you could qualify for the T visa. Now, both the U visa and the T visa allow you to stay in the United States for up to 4 years once it's approved. Then if you live for 3 years straight on that, you can apply for the green card. So it is a path to the green card. Another benefit of this, if you want to say so, because you applying for the T and the U visa comes from you coming out of a very terrible situation. Miriam, I have a question. Do all American open in all abroad? No. So it depends on what's going on in each country and what the policies are. So they're all functioning differently according to the area they're in and their local policies. Mabermar, can someone get papers if she's been living here for 3 years? No, not necessarily. No. So that is, there's no rule that says that someone can get their papers just by staying here. Now, there's the proposed law. It's not law yet, though, that would say if anybody was here on or before January 1st of 2021, they pay their taxes, pass a background check, and they're willing to register, can get what's called a temporary status, and then for 3 years after that get the green card, and then after that get citizenship. So there is that, but it's not law yet. It still has yet to be approved, and then keep in mind that some things might be taken out or some things might change. But that is maybe where I would see somebody can jump from going from undocumented to just getting their papers. Hi, Heavenly Ice Angel. Thanks for tuning in. It's nice to see you here again. So keep those questions coming. For those of you who don't know me, I am U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe, and I help clients to get their green cards. You're welcome, Mabermar. So if you have a question about getting a green card, qualifying for a green card, then go ahead and drop your questions. Your question does not have to be related to what I'm talking about. So it's anything that's immigration related. Now, if you would like to get my contact number to call me and schedule a consultation through the firm's receptionist, then you can go to the link in my bio, and it will take you to the website where you have a web form you can submit. You have the phone that you can call in order to get in touch with us. Go ahead and drop your questions, but I am talking about applying for the green card on your own through what's called a VAWA green card, or through getting the U or the T visas, which are temporary status given to victims of crime and victims of trafficking. So the thing about it though is you get up to 4 years. Hi, Dark Horse 45. You get up to 4 years to live on this visa, and if you stay in the United States for 3 of those 4 years, you can actually apply for the green card after that and adjust status. So it's not the way that we think of a visa as completely temporary. It offers a permanent solution for U and T visa applicants. There is lemonade out of lemons, because individuals who apply for the UNT visa, they've been through a lot, traumatized, victims of crime, probably left with nothing. And so it's not necessarily, it's a necessary relief for them, but it's not necessarily the type of relief that one would, necessarily smile about. It's a very the process that they have to go to get to that point can be painful. But to make lemonade out of lemons, there are other benefits to the U and the T visa. And the main one is that not only do you as a victim of crime or you as a victim of trafficking get to have the visa, but if you're under 21, your parents and your siblings under 18 can also get the status, the U or the T visa, depending on which one you qualify for. And if you're over 21, your spouse and children can get the U or the T visa. So there are some sunny sides to this process, even though actually preparing the process can be tedious. And that's why you should definitely consult an attorney if you have been the victim of a crime or a victim of trafficking, because these are sensitive areas to work with. And so you want to make sure you have the right advocate to get you to the other side and to get that T or U visa for you. So I don't see any questions so far. What I'm going to do is I am going to sign out. It's always nice to close out the night with you, and I will be back tomorrow. So thanks for those of you who came on, and if I missed your question, go ahead and hold on to your question. Follow me when I go live. You hop on immediately and ask your question. All right, have a good Friday night and enjoy your day, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.